Well, hi there. It is October the 16th, Saturday. And actually a pretty nice day, all things taken into consideration. Just finished working on this blog post and feeling kind of insecure about the content. Not necessarily because I have a problem with what I wrote. It's just a very difficult subject, and I hope that'll all come together as we talk about it for a moment. I've been fascinated with, well, I guess what we can call the human condition. That's what I called it in the blog, in the written blog post. And the human condition to me means all the things that make us who we are, the things that make us tick, as it were, particularly things that drive behavior. In a way, I guess you could say it's about free will, but before there's free will, there has to be decisions, and before there are decisions, there should be, or at least hopefully should be, information. And I've always been fascinated when people fail to act in their own best interest, and myself included, I suppose. I'm sure I could think of plenty of instances in the course of a lifetime, as rich as mine, where I've made decisions that seemingly did not appear to be in my own best interest. I've been very fortunate in the fact that a lot of those decisions really worked out. But they fascinate me, the way we make those decisions, what goes into the consideration, that aspect of free will. And that was all brought to fruition, when a shop owner in the Midwest reached out to me and asked for help. Because I don't think about these things every day, all day. However, when something triggers an event like this, it narrows your focus. Or at least that's the way it works for me. And when I started working with this shop owner, I started to recognize a lot of things about the decision-making process that were fascinating to me. And they revolve around a lot of other very similar kinds of issues that are easily just as fascinating. The notion of change and how likely it is that we can change. I've got a book up here on my bookcase above my desk that says, "Change is easy, you go first." It's a really good book, a quick read, but it talks about the difficulty in making changes in your life. And the one thing that I've come to recognize, perhaps more clearly than I ever have before, is that these decisions require, in many cases, a change in belief and a change in the whole system of beliefs that you and I and everybody else on the planet holds ourselves accountable to. I say everybody else on the planet, I mean Homo sapiens, I mean people like you and me. There are plenty of creatures on the planet that are intelligent, that have the capability of intelligent thought to some limited degree. But I'm not sure that they are self-aware in the same way that we are, that we as human beings are. I don't think they sit around thinking about their place in the universe or the meaning of life. The greater questions that a lot of us spend at least some time wondering about. This idea of assumptions and paradigms that we have as something that I've been interested in for almost as long as I can remember. Actually, before they had a name for those assumptions, started calling them paradigms. I think it started in the 60s when I first read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning and Dr. Maxwell Maltz's Psycho-Cybernetics. It was really interesting because the copy that I had both books attached. It was, a single binder, and both books were included, which was kind of an interesting phenomenon. I don't think I'd ever seen anything quite like that before. But what I learned firsthand, after having been told this by many coaches and consultants in the automotive industry, is something that I think I already knew, and that is that change will not occur until a change in beliefs occurs. And it was interesting because I was watching a show the other night and they were talking about actors. It was an interview show with actors on it. And one of the actors was talking about how they fall into character and how important it is to assume the role of the person that you're trying to play, and recognizing that no matter how aberrated the behavior of that character might be, in that character's own mind, they make sense. Those beliefs make sense based upon that belief system, because it's not reasonable that anybody would do something that didn't make sense to them, no matter how strange or dangerous or even evil it might be. So we have to accept the fact that our actions are predicated on our beliefs and our belief systems. What we do has to be congruent with those beliefs and belief systems. Consequently, it's critically important that when you're dealing with somebody who needs desperately to invite change into their lives in order to go ahead and accomplish their goals and objectives, when the thing that's holding them back from success are some of those beliefs and belief systems, that they have to change. And that's not so easy to do. For change to occur, those beliefs and belief systems have to be challenged. And people are very resistant to those challenges. And once challenged, if you're successful, they have to be replaced with a set of beliefs and paradigms and assumptions that work and work better than the set that has been discarded. They have to be utilitarian. They have to work. And the new information that's created and accepted has to be acted upon. All of these things require action, and action is a verb. Something has to happen. You have to make something happen. And I can tell you, in all the years that I've been on the planet, and all the many times I've had to confront change for one reason or another, it's not easy, it's not fun. And as I wrote in a previous blog post on a Misfire book blog, that there are various kinds of change, and we need to understand and accept that. But in order to change your current reality, the reality that you face right now, who you are, where you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it, especially if it's not working for you, especially if it's not giving you peace, especially if it's not giving you satisfaction, especially if it's not giving you the financial rewards you need, if it's related to your business. You must change. And one of the reasons that I accepted the challenge of working with this shop owner, which is something that I've actually avoided for many, many years. I always felt, as I wrote in the written blog, that my position in the industry as a trade journalist was to create awareness, to expose entrepreneurs, small business owners, automotive repair shop owners to a different set of beliefs, different set of opportunities and realities, and then allow the coaches and consultants in the industry to pick up that ball and run with it with the shop owner and help them. Realistically, I may have avoided it because I knew deep down inside how difficult it is, and I knew I wouldn't have the opportunity or the time to devote to it in order to do the kind of job that would make me happy, that would satisfy me, that would result in contentment. But in this particular instance, where I am in my life at this moment, and considering the persistence of the shop owner that reached out to me, I felt that it would make sense to go ahead and at least attempt to help him find a better current reality. And that to a large degree really has a lot to do with changing beliefs and belief systems, and what he can and cannot do. And I'm a firm believer in the fact that he can do anything he chooses to do, so long as he's passionate about it, diligent, dedicated, determined to get it done. But in order to do that, he has to believe in whatever that is. And in order to believe in the changes he has to make, he's going to have to abandon a number of the beliefs that he already has. So, my helping this particular individual has helped identify, has helped reveal some of these obstacles, and we're working on changing them now. And while it's very personal working with this individual, it's helped me really understand the complicated nature of how all of us approach our current reality, our where we are, how we are, and how easily we come to believe that what we are experiencing at the moment is all that's possible, when it's so much more important to see the possibility of better, the prospect of success. I'm in awe of this particular individual because of his willingness. In order to go ahead and do this successfully, you've got to be a bit masochistic, and I can sense the discomfort he's experiencing in challenging these beliefs and belief systems, these paradigms that he's built his career on to this point. And I have nothing but admiration for his willingness to do this and his courage to go on. Maybe humbled a little bit by his desire. We're early in the process. We'll see where it goes. We'll see how soon he comes to hate me for making the suggestions that I'm making, or whether or not he'll be strong enough to implement all of them. or any of them. But it's a very interesting process to take a look at someone's current reality from the outside looking in. And with a lifetime of experience, education, training, exploration, contemplation, recognize things that have to be changed, that must be changed in order for progress, in order for success to occur. And for me, it's the satisfaction of helping somebody, certainly on a personal level, but it's also theoretically fascinating to watch theory and reality come together and collide. And I hope I'm successful. I know that right now I may be learning as much or more than he is, in the respect that all of these theories that I've come to develop my belief system, my beliefs are actually being validated. So my goal for him is success. What I used to call at the shop, incremental, manageable, sustainable growth. Something that can be measured and managed. And change that will last and benefit everyone. Stakeholders, customers, his crew members, and cause the least possible disruption. It's not easy. Nobody who's ever achieved any kind of success is going to tell you that it was easy unless it was a winning lottery ticket. For most of us, it takes work, it takes diligence, it takes strength of character. And it demands a different mindset. Exposure to new ideas, a new level of awareness, a willingness to subject yourself to uncomfortable criticism, concepts, actions, ideas, and more than a little interest and desire. So that's what this particular post is all about. I hope it makes sense to you. It's starting to make sense to me, but then again, I've only read it about 12 times so far. But the thing that I want to stress, I guess, is what I ended the piece with. And it's just a tiny little bit of knowledge, or awareness, wisdom, perhaps, I don't know. And that's that I don't know anyone who wakes up in the morning with a burning desire to become average. Normal for most people is average, unfortunately. And I don't think that average is anything any of us is really looking for. I mean, I know it's nothing that I've devoted a lot of time to, a lot of effort to. When I started fixing cars, I wanted to be the best technician, the best mechanic that I could possibly be. When I started writing, I wanted to make sure that I could write as well or better as anyone else who was doing what I was doing. When I was teaching, I wanted to make sure that I was bringing new information to people, enriching their lives in ways that nobody else was doing, and attempting, even way back when I didn't understand exactly what I was doing, that I was in the business of changing beliefs and belief systems. that's what I got for you today. So in the meantime, stay well, take care. Look forward to visiting with you again soon.